Hey now, Habs fans, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Curfew Boys. Myself, Sammy, with my boy Joey.
Hey now,
How are you, buddy?
good. How are you?
I'm doing
It's a
very well,
little
thank you.
1v1 battle today.
It's a 1v1 battle. I hope you brought your boxing gloves, or I hope you're ready to drop your gloves, buddy, because you and we're going to fucking go at it all night long.
Can't
Code
wait.
switch.
Can't wait.
Well, look, uh, the Chitman Adrian is supposed to be off the IR tonight, that he was supposed to join us, but he's going through some technical difficulties. So I hope he gets to make it. If not, well, looks like you and I were just going to have to settle the score. So, Joey, before we begin, how about your Rams?
Hey, what a win yesterday.
I,
Holy crap.
I honestly, bud, I meant to text you saying your thoughts about them acquiring Baker Mayfield off of waivers.
Uh, I'll tell you. I mean, Baker's he has some football in him, right? The guy won the Heisman, which is being the best college athlete.
Right.
So I mean, he can't be bad, but everything he's shown when he's played in Cleveland, Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
there were no one's really trust that he was a number one pick. But I mean, the
Okay.
Rams did it because
Okay.
they want
Excuse my lack of football NFL knowledge, but he was a first overall pick.
first overall pick, like
Okay, he was
Slavkovsky. Yeah.
like Slavskowski. Okay, but who's got a better chance of having a longer career in their
Oh,
sport?
Slavkovsky,
Oh,
definitely.
really? Yeah, you think
Yeah,
so?
yeah, Slavkovsky. I
Okay.
mean, Baker Mayfield, he's had his ups and downs, but more trending downwards. That's not what you want from our first overall pick. Look, the Rams are not in any playoff contentions. Way too many injuries. When you have your quarterback, five or
Mm-hmm.
six linemen, your star wide receiver, your star defensive player, like all
Mm-hmm.
out,
Mm-hmm.
it's a recipe for disaster. It
Yeah.
happens. It's what happens in football, right? So
Remind is it kind of reminding you of the Colorado Avalanche this year? Stanley Cup champions, so all of a sudden, yeesh, they're
sort
dropping.
of, but we're. I mean, I think LA have way more injuries than the Avalanche do. Like
Oh
you're
wow, okay,
talking,
yeah,
you're talking like your best three players out of four because the fourth one's still there.
yeah. Okay.
They're out for the year. Like I mean,
Yeesh.
and when you have five guys that protect the quarterback, when
Mm-hmm.
four out of five starters, and then three of the other backups are injured, it's not going to work well. They're taking guys off the street just to protect the quarterback, and they're
So,
down to the third quarterback before they sign Mayfield.
oh fuck, okay.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that you're embracing the tank for the Rams this year.
Yes, I am, but unfortunately, they don't have their first round pick this year. So, but I'm
Wow.
still. I mean, it'll
Okay,
be good
okay,
from second pick onwards. But hey, it was
okay.
an exciting win yesterday. So,
Well,
I'll take.
I listen,
Yeah,
listen. I didn't see any highlights. I didn't see anything at all. I just got the notifications on my phone because I have like the TSN app. So I just got the notifications, and then I just kept seeing that the Rams are coming back. Rams coming back.
it was
Baker
crazy.
Mayfield, like he
Yeah, it
apparently
was crazy.
he it
I'll
was
give a
nuts
shout out to Anthony would love to hear this.
for sure.
This was vintage. This was literally vintage. It was like Tom Brady esque.
Right.
They were down by two touchdown. Well, 13 points. In the
Yeah.
fourth
Okay.
quarter with
That's
5 minutes
that,
to go,
that's
and
two
they literally
touchdowns.
scored with 2 seconds left to go up by a point.
And
Like
didn't he get the game winning touchdown?
yeah, he threw it. He threw it with the game winning touchdown. I don't know if it was like 25, 30 yards. He threw the game winning touchdown with 2 seconds
Okay.
left. I was like, holy shit. So it was nice to see. But yeah, I'm embracing the tank. Like this Baker Mayfield signing before we get to the Habs is just it's to evaluate himself so he can
Right.
get signed next year. And
Okay.
it's for LA too. They want if they're not able to sign him as a backup,
Mm-hmm.
and what they do in football is you can get like a compensatory pick for it. So
Okay.
getting an extra draft pick if he signs elsewhere. So it doesn't hurt them. It doesn't affect their cap long term. So they just wanted someone to kind of stabilize the ship going forward because in
So
football you lose. It's like hockey, right? You lose.
yeah,
You continue to
it's
lose. It demoralizes the room. So
okay. So he's their Sean Monahan basically.
yes, that's a good way to put it. But they get a pick if he signs elsewhere. Well, yeah. I mean Monahan too.
Yeah.
If they trade him. So yeah.
We're
It's
gonna
kind of
we're
like
gonna we're gonna get to a
it's a good
potential.
comparison. Really good
No, I'm
comparison.
serious. Like
It
it's
is.
just listen. None of this is planned. Part of this discussion wasn't planned, but like everything you're saying reminds me of like the Colorado Avalanche because I was just thinking about this like not too long ago. Their
It sort
Stanley
of is.
they were Stanley Cup champions last season, and you look at them now, like they're falling apart, kind of in a sense. Like no Landeskog, McKinnon is out. They don't
It's
have
too
their.
bad we don't have their first round pick.
I yeah, jeez, I hear you, but and then yeah, the way you're describing Baker Mayfield, like he's like there to stabilize, try out. They could get a pick for him. I was like, Sean Monahan, he's kind of doing
Exactly.
the
No,
same.
it's a perfect comparison, really.
Cool. All right, let's get started with the Montreal Canadiens talk here. So, man, after that brutal loss against the San Jose Sharks, there, that last episode my cousin was on, we discussed about that a bit. The Canadians heading out to the West, on a 4-game road trip. Started off in Calgary, going into Edmonton, then into Vancouver, and then finishing it off against the Seattle Kraken. And they surprised me with a nice 2-1-1 record on this road trip. It's one of those things where, like, road trips like this is where you get to see the kids getting challenged in a sense, and this is where you see if veteran leadership takes its place in helping out these kids. And once again, you keep seeing the way Suzuki is playing, the way Cole Caulfield's playing, even the way Caden Gooley is playing. And it's like the more and more they play, and the more and more they're thrown to these challenges, they seem to get better and better, despite how the team performs, whether the team wins or loses. Like you just I keep repeating this, but like I just want to see the future assets, the future core of this team show signs of improvements in different situations and in different challenges. And man, the team really impressed me. I thought if they were lucky, they would get one win from this road trip, but I didn't think they'd have a winning record. Let's start talking about Joey, the game against Calgary. Uh, Jake Allen, he gets a start after his terrible performance against the San Jose Sharks, and before Allen played against the Flames, it's three games that he lost, but like he allows in like two goals within the first 2 minutes of the opening period. When Jake Allen was announced that he's getting the start, I think all Habs fans were taken by surprise, even
Yeah.
even shocked, but he probably played. If that game wasn't the best game of his career, it had to have been his best game as a Montreal Canadiens. 45 saves. Canadians go up. They win the game 2-1. Sean Monahan returns to Calgary too. He was very emotional about that. And it just overall, like what a game for Jake Allen to play, to perform, to get that confidence back.
No, for sure. And before you say it was his best game, I don't think any game will top his game versus San Jose last year, where
Oh, I remember that. That's
Montreal
true.
won. He
Yeah.
made 45 save shutout.
Yeah,
They
he got
haven't
the
won
shutout.
there
Okay,
since
fine.
'99. That will always be the Jake Allen game for me.
All right,
But
fine.
no, it was a similar performance. Look, I didn't expect to win against Calgary, even though they're kind of in a little bit of a slump. Well, not in a
Mhm.
slump, but they're not playing up to their standards.
Yeah.
Playing in Calgary, and we'll get to Edmonton and the rest. Playing on the West, Montreal in general is not very good. Even when
I
Montreal
agree.
was a playoff team, they always sucked
They
out
always
West.
they always have a tough time out west. Absolutely.
Always, always. So Jake Allen had to step up. I mean, there was obviously moments where Montreal, there's some quite a few moments Montreal were all played, but they stuck to it. And like you mentioned, was progression, right? They stuck to it. They really battled hard. Kind of felt like one of those Western type of Canadian hockey game. They grinded it out and they came out
Mhm.
with a win. I was obviously surprised. I mean, besides where I want them to finish, where they are,
Yeah.
they played a decent game. I mean, I know Jake Allen made a lot of saves, but he's part of the Canadians too. I know they're kind of bailed by their goalie, but that's how it is in hockey. And overall, they played decent. I wouldn't say they completely got outperformed. Like I've seen them play worse against Calgary,
Mhm.
especially in Calgary. No, and when Montreal needed plays or goals or just anything, obviously their top players always come through, and Jake Allen is one of them.
Yeah.
And I was shocked as much as you were, really, with Motambo the way he was playing. I thought he would have gotten the start, but I mean, Martin St. Louis made the good call, and Montreal won the game.
Well, I I think you kind of had a bit of a sense how the game would go when Jacob Markstrom just decided to fucking I don't know if he was challenging his baseball player in him, trying to slide for whatever the fuck he was trying to slide for. And the play started by Caden Gooley to Sean. Imagine Sean Monahan kind of started that rush,
Yep.
even though Caden Gooley made an awesome pass to him. Seeing Marshall come slide out of the net, and then happy for Slavkovsky to pick up the loose puck. He didn't look panicky. He was able to get it past two sliding defenders into the open net, and that was a great way for the team to start. So
That's key what you said. He didn't panic. Like I can see a lot of rookies seeing that open net and decide
that's
just
why.
to shoot, but there's people in the way. Like he did very well in taking his time to
Yeah.
shoot when there was the opening. Because if he
Oh,
would have shot right away, it would have gotten blocked. So that's
maybe. Yeah,
very,
maybe.
very good patience. I thought it would have, but that's very good patience on Slavkovsky, especially for a rookie at 18 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And just the rest of the game, I'm trying to remember as much as I can, but like then just Jake Allen decided just to do the rest. Then
Every time we doubt Jake Allen, I think he always performs. But that's why he's never considered
a number one
a
though.
true number
It's
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, but
that's the
that's it. But
problem.
like it's again, I love Jake Allen for what he can bring, but like what he could bring is the at best he could be like the best backup in the league.
Yeah, no, I
He's
agree. He's definitely up there for being the best backup. I mean, everyone will have their opinions. It's very hard to say who truly is, but he's definitely up there, or he can be in that 1B type of
yeah,
starter role
exactly.
if you have the 1A. But thing is, we don't have the 1A, so that's why Jake Allen is where he is.
Cole Caulfield scored another goal. He scored in Calgary. That was his 13th, and Sean Monahan putting up 2 points in his
Against his
return
old team.
to Calgary. Yeah, they did a nice tribute for him, even though we didn't see much of it because I think it was during a commercial break, real quick, to the best of my memory. But like, he got emotional. He was asked, "What do you have to
For
say
sure.
to Calgary and their fans?" And like, you saw him holding back tears, and he's just simple. Thank you, thanks for bringing in an 18-year-old kid, and for kind of making him probably not just the hockey player he is, but also the man he is. And it was great to see. Like it just showed more and more now that I really think if he didn't get injured the way he has during his career, if he wasn't the cyborg that he is now, that I like to call him, like he'd probably still be in Calgary and he probably still have a significant role. Now, obviously, we talk about contracts, especially you, Joe. We know how sometimes contracts can
Yeah,
can hurt a team more than anything, even
for
as
sure.
much as you love the player. But it's just showing he's proving his worth to the Montreal Canadiens more and more as the games go. And I know he got injured, and we're gonna get to that later about Monahan. But man, like he provides stability on a young team.
No, he does. And the key thing is he provides secondary scoring, which I still think obviously we lack.
We do. Well,
So
we
he's
really
the
do.
only one that kind of provides it. And I mean, we'll get to Safkowski more with his, Martin St. Louis and the World Juniors decision,
Right.
but
Yeah.
he might be able to provide it. Like he's growing into that top six role more and more. So we're hoping he'll be the next one to help Monahan get the Canadians more goals besides the Suzuki line.
Yeah. And you see the progression though. You really, really do. So, you know, uh, I want to talk about Arbor Jacki because he was a healthy scratch during the Calgary game. I think who then after the Calgary game, I think David Savard got injured.
Yeah, and
I
he
think
came
so,
back for Edmonton.
and then so Arbor Jacki steps in for Edmonton. Now, I didn't expect the Canadiens to beat Edmonton, to be 100% honest with you. I know I truly hold on a sec. Who was in nets? I think it was Montembeault in nets, right?
Yes.
The Montembeault did go in nets for that one. No, sorry.
No, it's
No,
Jake
no, no. It
Allen.
was
No,
Jake
it's
Allen.
Jake
Sorry,
Allen.
sorry, sorry. My bad. My bad. It was Montembeault was in for Vancouver, which we'll get to later.
We'll get to.
We'll definitely get to that one later. But no, Jake. Exactly. Jake Allen deserved the start. I didn't expect him to. I didn't expect the team to beat the Edmonton Oilers. Just not the
N-
way
No, but
McDavid and Draisaitl are
for
rolling.
sure. But
It's
I was shocked we took the lead. We came back to take the lead,
Mhm.
right?
We did.
And but the thing what killed us is that remember they had a 5-on-3.
They took
And
so many bad penalties though that game.
yeah,
They were
that's not that's not
so
on
undisciplined.
Allen. I mean, maybe a
Nope,
goal or two, but like
nope.
that's hard.
No, and I wanted to say about Arbor Jack is that like, is it just me or is that every time he's a healthy scratch when he comes back in the game, the next game after he scores a
Of
goal,
course, yeah.
and, and he's, you know what, and his goal against the Oilers, it wasn't, was it on a power, it was on a power play, right? It was on a 4-on-3,
That's
I
right.
believe. Yeah, so it's funny how we're wondering why aren't they putting this. This is my cousin. If he was on the show tonight, he would love to have talked about this because he doesn't like having Mike Matheson on the power play as like the quarterback. So I actually want to hear your thoughts about it. But like our Jack guy, like the more he's on the ice for these opportunities, like the guy scores the most simplest wrist shot goals from the point I've ever seen.
Yeah, he does because he gets pucks to the net. That's a skill that you need
He gets
skill
them
to use.
through. He really
Yeah,
does. It's so weird. Like because I think throughout the years we were used to seeing Weber clap it. We were used to seeing even PK clap it. You know, like Markov setting it all up. It's just here's just Arbor. Just like he doesn't. There's no wind up. There's no nothing. He's just dribbling the puck and just like, okay, let me try, and he scores, and it
exactly.
works. It's
No,
the
but yeah,
simplest things.
I'm convinced he has a skill to get the puck on net. That's a skill in its own, and he's good at doing. He's good at seeing the lane to the net because a lot of people take it, they'll be blocked or they'll hesitate and they won't
Mhm.
shoot. But Jack Guy just doesn't do it. He sees the lane, he shoots. He's like, no, I'm taking my chance, and
For
it's been
sure.
working so far.
And you know, dude, Slavkovsky got that assist as well on the power play, and we talk about him. I just think more and more his confidence is growing, and it's
It
showing in
is.
his play. It's showing in his play, and I think what helped is that he got that promotion from the fourth line to the second line. Now, obviously, injuries are kind of helping his case. You know, with guys like Hoffman and Drouin being out, he's earning his spot. And again, that's the trend of Slavkovsky. Like in his draft year, many times starting on the fourth line, plays better and better, and then he gets the promotion. He did it for Slovakia in the international tournaments. He did it for his team in Finland. And the more and more we keep seeing this, the more and more you know, Kent Hughes, Jeff Gordon are proving themselves right for picking this guy first overall.
Yeah, absolutely,
instead
definitely.
instead of uh instead of Shane Wright, who
We'll get there. We'll get
we'll
there.
get there.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, I mean, look, the Edmonton Oilers, like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, they're like every game they're on a mission. Did you see real quick? Did you see that fucking highlight of that Draisaitl backhand pass to McDavid cross ice?
Yep.
McDavid wraps around it. Oh,
Yeah.
like
That's when you have two of the best players on your team and even on the same line to get playing together.
they're disgusting together,
I
dude.
know
Like I don't understand how
they don't win a cup.
well they don't get close to winning the cup.
Well, I mean, close.
Granted,
They made conference finals.
they got beaten by Colorado last year. Yes, I still believe they need a goalie, but anyways, it's just like but just those two, like they make it look so effortless. And you know what was that McDavid play against the Habs where he just I think Josh Anderson did a bad turnover in the neutral zone, and then McDavid picked it up and just forget it. Like
Yeah, it was
he's like
it was done and dusted right there.
he just told everyone, like, yo, pack your bags, boys, get the showers ready because I'm calling it a night for you all. Like he just zoomed by everybody.
His solo goals, you know how you get like so excited or shocked when you see a player like just go through five guys and then score. He
Yeah,
does it so often. It's like, okay, it just
it's a
happened.
regular thing now.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I've seen this about 1,000 other
Well,
times.
yeah, but even at that, Joe, I see what you're saying. But even at that, like he doesn't make the same play twice.
No, no, he doesn't. I'm just saying the same.
He
Like
throws in another fake like pump fake and like he goes either to the left or because you don't know if he's gonna go to the left
the
or the
left or
right.
to the right. Yeah, no, for sure.
He's just so damn fuck man. Like he's fast and you know the crazy thing about it is like when you watch hockey on TV, like they don't look they're fast. You know they're fast, but they don't look that fast. Like, can you imagine seeing that live? Like, I envy the Edmonton Oiler fans for getting to see this guy 42 games a year live in the flesh. Like it's uh however, there was that one play where Caden Gooley stopped him, and
He did. That's
I
right.
was so happy for
Me
him.
too. Me
I
too. I
was
was glad.
so
I'm like, there's our number one
well,
defenseman.
he is, and it's little plays like that you want to see from Caden Gooley, because man, he went up against Crosby, he went up against Matthews, he went up against Ovechkin. This is the first time he's going up against McDavid, and he pulled that off. Granted, I understand he can't do that the entire game because McDavid's McDavid up against a rookie defenseman, but the fact he did that on um, his first how can I say this? His first up against McDavid, his first time he's ever going up against McDavid, and he stopped him in his tracks. Like dude, on Twitter, Habs fans were like super stoked and pumped to see that.
No, so for sure, and I was happy to see it. Like I'm happy to see Gooley's progression. You're going up against the best of the best. Show what you got, and I find he did. Look, we lost the game, but I don't think he was out of place against two of the better players in the world, and that's just a positive
Hell
sign
no.
to see from your number one defenseman, right? So
Well, what did Jake Allen say? Like it's unreal how this kid does not look like a rookie on the ice.
exactly, that's right. That's right. He does.
So oh man, I'm sorry, I just dropped something here. I'm like I'm happy for guys like Jacky and when Jordan Harris. I know they've been kind of like in and out of the lineup, but like the more and more I see Caden Gooley play, like the more he looks just so comfortable out there. And
Yeah,
we're especially even without his partner and mentor, your favorite David Savard.
he looked better.
he
I'll
looked
leave it at
he
that.
looked better. Okay, the Vancouver game now.
Oh my god!
So,
Even I was upset.
did you were really?
Well, I mean, come on. You're up 4-0. Like, okay, look, it was fine. I know the tank. Everyone knows where I stand. Like, to lose. First of all, we ended up still getting a point. So, to me,
Yeah.
it should be more zero. But you're up 4-0. Like, this is like just, this is everything. This road trip showed everything about what Montreal are this season. Like, you have a great game against Calgary.
Mhm.
You kind of fought hard against Edmonton. Okay, maybe it didn't turn your way. You play against the Canucks who are worse than you, lower in the standings. You're up 4-0.
Yeah.
Montembeau was finally showing that he can be a real goaltender. And then this. How do you
and then he
blow
was
a
showing
4-0
and then he
lead?
was showing that he could be himself from last season.
Yeah, but not only that, you blow the 4-0 lead, you come back and take back the lead, and you give it up again. I mean, I don't know. It was scratching my head how many mistakes
Okay,
they were making.
the first question though, were you up for the entire game?
Yes,
You were.
unfortunately.
Okay. 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 The interesting thing is because I was working the night shift and us were allowed to, hit the hay or go to bed as of 10 p.m. But the game started at 10:30. So myself and my colleagues were debating like, should we stay up to watch maybe one period? Like guys they were just tired. They're like, nah, like I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. So it's like, okay, whatever. So like I go to my bed at work. I'm like, fuck it, I have my phone. I have the app. I'm watching it. I'm seeing the Canadians dominate 4-0, 4-0. I'm like, then I turn on this. Then I watch the whole second period. And I'm there thinking like, okay, if the Canadians go up 4-0 in the third, I'm gonna turn the game off and I'm gonna go to sleep. Vancouver made it 4-2 at the end of the second. I'm like, okay, we kind of got ourselves a game here. I'm like, okay, let me third period, boom, they score one. I'm like 4-3. Oh, now they make it 4-4. I'm like, no way. Like, no, there's no way this screw it. So I said, screw it. Like, I have to watch the entire game and whatever. I'll I'll just nap at home during the day in between my next night shift. And honestly, I had a feeling Vancouver was going to come back. I really, really
Same,
did. I
same
really
one.
did. Like you felt it though. Like,
At 4-2, I felt it.
but the reason why, and you mentioned mistakes, Vancouver got the momentum because I don't know if you recall, they showed the stats of all the defensemen, the minutes they played towards the end of the second period. Almost all of them were above a minute and a half time on ice.
Yes, I saw that. Yes, I saw that.
So
It was
so that
bad line management.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
noticed.
yeah. Well, they couldn't get out of their zone, which didn't help. but that was it. I don't know if it's because they took it for granted. We have the lead. We can like
I
kind of
think they took it
lay
a bit easy at 4-0 against Vancouver. I think they
and
kind of laid back a little. They had two tough games, and it just, they thought they had it in the bag. And you see this all the time. And they scored two goals. It puts you on your, the edge. It like puts you on your toes. Like holy
Mhm.
shit! And then they kind of panicked in the third. They had a bad third period, and then it came to overtime. I don't know when they tied it back up again. I was like, I think Vancouver's going to win this in overtime. Montreal, I'm confident to win in a shootout. With Suzuki and Caulfield, but I am
Yeah.
not confident for them right now to win an overtime game. Have they even won one this year in overtime? I don't even know. If they
They're
did, it's not many.
they I yeah
I'm sure they've won
they
one or two, but
I
not.
don't they haven't lost much in overtime.
No, but
I don't know if this was their first loss, their first overtime.
no,
No, not
there's definitely been another loss. I think there's been an overtime loss. I know they won one with Hoffman. I don't know why I'm
they won
remembering
one to Hoffman.
Hoffman.
They won one with Doc.
They won
Uh,
one with Doc, but like I don't know. I find in overtime they don't control the games as much. I don't feel comfortable with that. I feel
but
comfortable with them in
I
shootout, but
I
not overtime.
really I didn't expect Mike Matheson to blow a tire like he did.
No, I know. I
Yeah,
know.
bad luck, but I mean, like out of all people that it should happen, like he's one of the best skaters on the team,
I know.
and he blows a tire that way, and you give it up to look Elias Pettersson. Like, say what you want about him, even though he's not having the greatest season, the guy's still a deadly player. Like
Yeah, of course, of course.
the kid can score. He could shoot from anywhere. But there's Brock Besser that fuck. There's major trade rumors about him wanting out of Vancouver, but he steps in the lineup and he puts up. How many points did he put up? He puts up a few points too.
It's weird, Brock Besser. By the way, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like he looked like the next thing for Vancouver with Pedersen, and just he fell off. Just like he
I
fell
I
off.
mind you, he only got 1 point though, but like he still played decently
Yeah, but
well.
he
Like I
played
mean, they
well.
all did. Yeah, they did. I just think Brock Besser needs. He obviously needs a fresh start. I
I
don't know.
think so.
I don't know if Bruce Boudreau is like the coach for him to be 100%
Yeah,
honest.
I think so. Fresh start would do him well.
So yeah, yeah, like I yeah, we were all in shock, and then carry the again. It's one of those things where like the Canadians are lucky. Which game was it where it was it was the game against Buffalo. It was the same thing against Buffalo when they lost to the Sabres. That was another terrible game when they lost to the Sabres 7-2, but then they had a back-to-back game in Columbus. Like I get the sense that this team, like, they could bounce back from a bad loss right away if they're playing a back-to-back game.
Yeah, and especially in a back to back, which is key because most of the time when you play back to back, you're usually tired.
Mm-hmm.
You're not always there, but for some reason, Canadians show resiliency.
Yeah, they really did. They say it's an opportunity. Look, we got a game coming up. We have an opportunity to forget about it and now really focus on the next game and setting. If you have a day or two off in between, I imagine some players they look back
They
on
overthink
a
about
poor
it for
game,
sure.
they dwell on it. So they face Shane Wright and the Seattle Kraken, who got called up purposely to play against the
To play
Montreal
as
Canadiens because
right.
Shane Wright, when he was sent down to the minors, scored 4 goals in 5 games. He was starting to wake up. Obviously, they're gonna call Shane Wright up to play against the Montreal Canadiens, and obviously, like
He's gonna score.
it was written in the fucking stars. Like, are you kidding me? And he got robbed. He actually
Yeah,
Jake Allen robbed him
he should have had a second.
he should have had two. Jake
Yep,
Allen robbed him. Man, but of course,
it always happens, right?
of course, you knew that Shane Wright was going to score against the
It's
Montreal
like
Canadiens.
it reminded me of like those Quebec goaltenders that never ever play, well in the NHL, and then they play Montreal, and they're like just superstars. It's like
Dude, but are the Montreal Canadiens the only team in the NHL? Not to be embarrassed in like Toronto Maple Leaf style there, where you have a Zamboni driver that beats you, but it always happens to the Canadiens where there's a rookie that gets his first career goal against us,
yes,
or like you said,
like the goalie.
a Quebecois goalie that's not a starter, that's backup, yet somehow he performs well, or another goalie That's a backup. That's a shitty record or got called up because another goalie got injured and he plays well against us. Like
Yeah,
it only happens to the Canadians.
yeah.
Or is it just me?
Look, I'll say a part of it is during that time frame. I don't think the Habs have the best, have the most skilled shooters, so it always makes goalies look better. Now, I think it'd be a different case.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Caulfield, obviously.
Caulfield, man. Oh, like
Doc, like we're showing more offensive prowess. I think uh, goalies would suffer more against us, but in the past, yeah, and I don't know if it got to their head, but it's always was that case, and you knew Wright was going to score. You knew Wright was going to score for sure.
it was
That was
unreal, man.
written.
Look. Like I said, not all Habs fans can. So there's a lot of smart Habs fans out there that are modest like us in a sense. There's a lot of fucking stupid ones. There's a lot of funny ones. There's a lot of idiot, especially on Twitter. They're the best
There's
ones.
every kind you
I'm
can
gonna
get.
shit on Habs fans on Twitter every opportunity I get because I can and I will. So good luck trying to cancel us. Man, there's so many of them. They're like, he's gonna be a bust. Shane Wright's a bust. Shane Wright's a bust. Look, I still believe we picked. I mean, I want to believe just because I want to believe in Slavkovsky because we picked him. I'm going to support Kent Hughes' decision. I don't think Shane Wright's going to be a bust. Shane Wright's going to be an excellent.
No,
He's going to be an excellent hockey player.
yeah, they don't.
Can we
They think
stop it?
it's they think it's like, oh, because we picked him, this other guy's going to be a bust, or our guy's going to be a bust, and the other guy's going to be good. No, it
No,
could
for
be
sure.
that both guys could be good players.
Excellent
It might
hockey
happen.
players. That's it. And I mean, look, Shane Wright scored a goal, but then Slavkovsky, he gets an assist on a Josh Anderson goal, who actually had a good road trip. I'm
Yeah,
happy to see Josh Anderson waking up too.
yeah, he did. And it's funny, Sam, on this road trip, if there was one team I penned as a loss from when I looked at the schedule, it was Seattle. I'm like, no,
Oh,
this
me
is in
too,
their
dude.
sixth place.
Seattle is strong this year.
They remind me of a Vegas-ish type team, or Calgary when they're playing better, where they're just gonna physically wear you down. They're one of
Yep,
those teams. They were sixth. They're playing some excellent hockey. They were like 6-1 in the last 7
yep,
in
yep.
Seattle. I'm like, nah. Last year we got destroyed by Seattle when they were bad. I'm like, nah, this
Yeah, I
team's gonna
know.
beat us.
No, I look, man. I actually, believe it or not, Joe, as we slowly start to wrap up the road trip talk, like I really thought they were going to come out of this road trip with a 1-3 record, and the only win I thought they
It
were
was
going to get
Vancouver.
was Vancouver.
Yeah,
Exactly.
same. But they were, and the last game showed and kind of summarized, they were opportunistic. I'm not saying they
Yeah.
dominated Seattle, but because they
No,
didn't have many shots.
it was a good back and forth
Yeah,
game. I
they
found.
controlled Seattle
Yep.
offensively, so Seattle didn't have much. But Seattle, I mean, I don't think they played their best game
No,
either.
it wasn't
But
their
when
best game.
Montreal had their chances, they buried them. They had like, I think it was 3 goals on maybe 7 or 8 shots. Montreal took their
Yep.
chances.
Yep.
Like the Caulfield goal was off the turnover. Suzuki slid it over,
Oh, what a
took his chance, and
pass!
scored.
Oh my God,
Yeah, and they were
what a
just
pass!
opportunistic. Every opportunity they seemed to make a really good play out of it, and they came out of there with
Well,
with
well,
with the win.
I mean, dude, after that Caulfield goal, like 7 seconds later, another Anderson goal.
Yeah,
It started with Slavkovsky with just a good, just playing the body, just winning a puck battle. Who was it? Was it Dvorak picking it up, and he just 7 seconds. I think it's a new record, a road record for the Canadians for the
yeah.
fastest goals
The
on the
camera,
road.
RDS barely had time to show the replay of Caulfield's goal because right after
Yeah, because
Anderson
Anderson.
he scored.
Speaking of LDS, did you see which game was it? I think Pierrot was having a headset and mic issues
Yes, and they
at the
went to
start of the
Lijon
period.
Pinot.
Like, and he yanked it off of he took it off his head and he yanked it because it was like 2-3 times where he's trying to speak and you hear his voice but at a very low volume, so he got upset.
He's one of a kind, Piero. You can't replace him. Really, you can't
I love
replace
Pierrot.
him.
No.
Me too. He's the best.
I hope he stays there even like till his dying breath. But anyways, like I think you could be happy knowing that Jonathan Kovacevic got his first career
Goal.
goal
I was
against.
happy, man. He deserves it. He's been playing good defensive hockey. Like you don't talk
Mhm.
about him in a good way because that's what he is. When you don't
Yeah,
mention Kovacevic, it's because he's having a
he's-
good game, and I don't
exactly.
mention him much. You can mention Savard, you can mention Edmondson, you can mention Matheson, these mistakes, but I don't talk much about Kovacevic, but it's in a good way. Not just me, but I'm saying in general.
No,
So
he's one
just
of those. But that's what it is about a shutdown defenseman. It's like if you don't talk about them, that means they're doing their job.
exactly.
So
Chaka, you talk about him a little more because there's a little more out there. He fights, he hits. Well, Kovacevic hits too, but he kind of lays the body more, Jacka, and he puts himself out there more, and he helps a little more
I,
offensively.
but I think Jack Eye, what's helping his case is his story.
Yes, for
Guy that
sure. Being
never got.
undrafted, working at Costco.
Okay, okay,
Well,
like
come on.
work at Costco. The guy, he's trying to make. He's trying to keep
Yeah, but it
himself
was just 2 years.
alive
Yeah, but it was just like
during
2 years
during
ago. It makes
COVID. During COVID, the guys in the OHL didn't play. What do you want him to do?
I know.
I rather,
I find it adds to the story. Like you never
but
hear,
I
yeah, I
mean,
worked at
of
Costco.
course it does. And apparently, there was a thing that came out about him on the NHL page on Instagram. I think he had an interview with, I really don't know who exactly, but apparently one of his managers or something like that at Costco was mad at him for him focusing on his hockey game instead of working at Costco.
Who's laughing now?
Well, who's laughing now? It's just, look. I mean, now I think in this manager's or his boss's defense, I don't think that person knew his potential in hockey.
No,
I don't
exactly.
think that person knew that, no, this kid is playing. He's not just in a junior team, but he has an NHL contract.
But I think
So
this happens a lot with hockey, Sam. Like things get in the way, and if you really want to become a pro, whether it's hockey or another sport, like you gotta stay committed. And
a
this is
100%. But I don't think this person knew that
like who, yeah, he can
who he
make it
was
for sure.
and who he could be. He's making, dude. Arbor Jacka is making a name for himself, and we have him. It's unreal
Yeah,
to think that, like you said, like everybody knows, he's undrafted both in juniors and in the NHL.
yeah.
Just his story, but like it's not just that. It's like he's not a goon. I don't consider him a
No,
goon.
no, exactly. We
Even if he
talked about it last time.
even if he could fight, he's not a goon.
No,
He's a kid that he could play hockey, but
and
he could drop
fights.
the gloves. He
Yeah,
could drop the gloves. Don't challenge him because, look, I mean, unless you're a veteran fighter
Glory.
like Nicolas Delorier, who I still wish was on the team. By the way, I'll say this every time I mention his name. But man, all that to say is that, like, it's just funny how, like, every time he's out of the lineup, when he comes back, he scores a goal,
He performs.
or he
Yeah,
performs
I
well.
mean
So
that's a big thing of the team. It's not just him. The team always when like his bounce back was he didn't play, so obviously he wasn't happy about it. But when the team wasn't
mhm,
happy with their play, you mentioned they come back the next game. This is why they're a 500 team, whether it's on a back to back
yeah,
or even sometimes a couple of days later they come back and they have a good game and they come out with 2 points.
that's
It
right.
just seems to be happening all season, and this is why they're 500.
I'm happy Rem Pitlick got a goal too. Like, I know
Yeah, yeah.
he got,
Finally, good
yeah,
for him.
he deserved that goal. Um, were you worried a little bit when Seattle made it 4-2 at the end of the second period?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, I didn't think. Look, they blew that lead against Vancouver. I did not think they were going to do it again.
The same. I I think I'm pretty sure I felt the same way because, again, late night game instead of 10:30 was just at 10. But I was at work once again, and I stayed up to watch. Actually, myself and a colleague, we stayed up in the lounge area to watch the first period. I watched the second period on my phone. By the third period, I was like, I can't stay up. Like,
Hats
I
off to you, dedicated Habs fan. Good for you,
I
man.
I I tried my best to stay up. I couldn't. There's thousands of, probably millions of dedicated Habs fans out there who did a better job than I did. Stayed up to watch the game.
Sam,
I was burnt out from the night before that.
it's tough. Just an example for me in the past in life. When I lived in England, like I tried to watch as many Hab games as I could. It
Hmm.
was hard. 1 2 a.m. I would try to
Yeah,
stay up because I had
yeah.
to be up the next day early. I
We have
would
a
do it a couple of times.
Yeah.
I couldn't, man. What I would do, and I still do this to this day, but it doesn't happen as much with streaming. what I would have done is gone to bed before the game started. I mean, the game starts late anyways.
Right.
I would wake up a little earlier, watch the game without the intermissions, and it would really cut down the game because they used to have it online. I
Yeah.
would just replay the actual game just to watch it as if it was live. Like I wouldn't look at the
Yeah. Yeah.
score.
Yeah.
Tough to
Okay.
do mentally, like to not look, but it's tough, man, to stay up to watch it. But a
It
lot of
is. It
dedicated
is.
Habs fans around the world do it.
But we got a lot of followers that are in Europe. They're in
Yeah,
European countries.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's
of
some in
course.
England. There's some in the Scandinavian countries. We have one in the Middle East. You know, like for them to stay
To
up
watch
and
it.
watch stream
Yeah,
whenever they
it's 10,
can.
11, 12 every night for them when they watch the game. So hats off to all of them. Really,
Yeah.
it's hard to do.
Good. So look, like we're gonna wrap it up on the west coast, not the west coast, sorry, the western road trip into the west, as we're gonna call it, with a 2-1-1 record. The Canadians are back home Saturday night against the LA Kings and Philippe Danault, our buddy Zook's favorite. But look, December is one of my favorite months of the year, not just because of Christmas and the holidays, but because of the World Junior Championship tournament. Um, the Montreal Canadiens are going to be well represented this year. If some of the prospects that are representing their countries make the team, it's a good it's a good thing
Yeah,
for
no, it definitely is.
the team. So look, let's go down the list here. Um, for Canada, I obviously, you knew Joshua Roy and Riley Kidney were going to get invited again since they were part of the 2022 Team Canada gold medal team. I didn't think Owen Beck was going to get invited, although I strongly felt he deserved it. I don't think he was initially part of the plan, or how can I say this? I don't think Team Canada, when they first started thinking about putting this team together, I don't think they thought about inviting him, but he's having a great year in the OHL. So to the point where they're thinking, no, we got to invite this kid.
Right, and I think what helped this chance a little bit is I saw lines today that they were doing trials. They had
Yes,
Bedard on the wing.
they had Beck on the wing.
No, Bedard. So
Yes,
by having Bedard on the wing, I saw where it says, I mean, it doesn't only help him, but it helps centerman's chances of making it.
yeah.
Besides Wright, because he's a lock at center.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too. Is that Shane Wright? It's a lot of I think a lot of hockey experts and analysts, they were predicting that he'd get invited because he didn't play much with Seattle. So I mean that's kind of the
Yeah, and he got
sense I
loaned
get.
to go play. So when I
Yeah,
saw the
which
lines, I'm like, oh, this is good for Beck because they put Bedard on the wing, so this should give him a better chance,
yeah,
to make it and play as a center. I don't know if they're doing it maybe because they're overcrowded at center and they just want to see, or they really want to try it out. But hey, we're
I think
seeing,
I and who did Arizona loan? Was it Dylan Gunther?
yes, yes,
Gunther, however you pronounce his name. Those two going, especially Shane Wright going at center, I think that's going to hurt someone's chance, like Riley Kidney,
yeah, I might.
to be honest. And like the poor guy barely played. Like he was part of the team, but like he was their 13th forward, or
It's
what?
okay.
He was their 13th forward.
It's okay. We'll see at least two future Montreal centers play for Canada. So
Well, look, I hope Owen Beck makes the team. I really do. I think Joshua Roy is going to make the team,
yeah, I think he
but
should.
him too. It's like I'm not sure if he's going to be considered one of the top players on this
He
Team
might not.
Canada.
He might not. And for reference, Sam, when I said the two future Montreal Canadiens, I'm including obviously Beck and Bedard. So gotta happen.
Oh, so Beck and Bedard or Beck and Fantilli, maybe.
I'm gonna go Mishkov as my second. So
It was Mishkov. So if Mishkov,
for me, but everyone, I mean, everyone's different.
so if Mishkov is Canadian, dude. Speaking of Mishkov, apparently he's dropping the rankings.
I know he's fifth.
Craig Button had him at 5 or 6.
Yeah, he had him at fifth. I don't know if he's having as a bad a year. Obviously,
Well,
I don't
he's
want
not.
to Russian hockey, but
He's not in the KHL. He's in the league
below it.
below them,
Yeah,
the VHL, I think, if memory, because there's the KHL, then the VHL, and then the MHL. So
right.
I think it's the equivalent. Like if we look at the NHL, the AHL, and then the East Coast League. I
Right,
think that's the
and
equivalent.
I just keep seeing Mishkov, especially since he dropped. Like I like his skill set, obviously, and I think
Yeah.
it's good to have another talented winger. And just it's more realistic because if he drops to fifth, sixth, that might be where we pick maybe a little higher than that
Mm.
or lower.
But
So
I think he dropped because of his contract situation in Russia. I don't think we'll see Michkov
okay,
in the NHL until 2026, around that area. And he kind of has the same
ooh,
situation going to him like Kaprizov did.
okay,
Kaprizov, he was 5-6 years in the KHL before he made his way to the NHL. So I
okay,
think so I think that situation is kind of scaring teams off in a sense,
okay.
or
Yeah,
I
that
think
I
I
mean that
think
would make sense,
and I
right?
think that's why. But anyways, Lane Hudson got invited for Team USA.
So happy for him.
Let's be honest, he's gonna make the team
Of
because
course,
he
of
has
course.
to make the team. And honestly, like the only other time I rooted for the Americans was actually no, it's not true. Uh, Because when Cole Caulfield won with the Americans, he beat Caden Gooley and Team Canada.
That's
So
right.
so I don't think I've ever rooted for the Americans, but if ever Canada this year gets eliminated, I pray to God they don't. But if they do, and the states keep going, I'm gonna root for Lane Hudson and the Americans just because they have Lane Hudson on their lineup. This kid,
I'll root
it's
for them in Slovakia.
you're rooting for Massar in Slovakia. Massar.
Yeah, of course.
So look, the difference is Philip Massar made Team Slovakia. He made the team. Miroslav Shatan, who's the president of Slovakia hockey, or Hockey Slovakia, however you say it, Massar made the team. Him and Simon Nemec made the team. They don't even have to try out. They made the team. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Before I get to the ultimate question here, we're just gonna go real quick. There's another prospect, Vincent Rohrer, who plays for the Ottawa 67s, who's their best goal scorer right now. Vincent Rohrer, he's trying out for Team Switzerland, and we got an unknown prospect, but yet still a prospect, Adam Engstrom for Team Sweden. So I don't think Oliver Kapanen got invited to Team Finland. I may be wrong. I'm trying to check it out. So far, I haven't seen anything about it. But look, my God. So we got three. We got three for Canada, one for the US. We got one for Sweden, and we have one for Switzerland.
And Slovakia.
And then we go, oh my God, Phil Massar for Slovakia. That's seven prospects, seven
That's good.
Montreal Canadiens prospects taking part in this tournament. Okay, this tournament is a big deal for these kids. Okay, now, which leads to the ultimate question about this subject: should Uri Slavkovsky go play in the World Junior Championship tournament this year?
I say no. I agree with St. Louis what he said about building continuity and continuing. I mean, the
Mhm.
guy just got a promotion. He's showing
Yeah,
he belongs in the NHL. I don't think there's a point of sending him back. Someone like Wright, he's had more ups. No, I'm not gonna say ups and down, more downs than Slavkovsky would. He's. I mean, I don't watch all Seattle. I tried to catch a bit because I was curious,
yeah,
and he kind of looked a little out of place and looked like he belonged a little more in the juniors than Slavkovsky did. So it made sense for Slavkovsky's case. The guy just got promoted. He's been doing better and better. And St. Louis said it best. I want him to have more continuity and continue here and
yeah.
continue to develop with us. And I think we made the right call. I think he's outgrown the juniors. He's already an NHL player, whether you want to say the second, third, or fourth line. He's an NHL player. And I don't see there's a point of sending him back to the juniors.
I think, yeah, and I agree with you agreeing with Marty. I really do. In a sense, part of me thinks he did what he had to do at the international stage already.
Exactly.
Not just the world championship, but even at the Olympics, where he was the best goal scorer at the Olympics. An Olympic medalist. Even if he won bronze, he still won. So I think in a sense it's easier to I guess in a sense, like if you're going to be a fan of this kid and his hockey development and throughout his career, I think it's easier to accept him staying with the Habs instead of going and represent his country. On the flip side of that, here's my take. I really I look, no matter where he goes or doesn't go, like I'll be happy. Like if he goes to Slovakia, even though it's highly unlikely, I'll be happy. But if he stays with the Canadians, I'll be happy as well. But I'm going to give my other side of this as to why I would like to see him go. One, it's an opportunity of a lifetime to represent your country with other young hockey players out there in the world, like other young 18 to 21-year-olds. Like a lot of these kids, they dream for that opportunity. So I wouldn't want him to lose that chance. Another point is he's going to be playing with his best friend, Philip Massard, who's going to be another future Montreal Canadian. It could be an opportunity for him to play with him, maybe develop some kind of chemistry together with one goal, which is really winning it for their home country. And another thing too is I really believe that a tournament like this at an international level at a young age is super key for the development of these players. And I'll always go back to Pierre Maguire, what he once said. I'm trying my best to remember if he said it on TSN TV show or if he said it on TSN radio. He's always a guest on the Mitch Melnick show, way before he got hired with the Senators, even though he's not there anymore. But anyways, he always said, he's like, this tournament is one of the best things for these kids in terms of their development. And if you look at almost everyone that's played or represented their team one point or another, they made the NHL, and they've gone on to have some. Most of them had at least decent careers, maybe not superstar careers, to the likes of the McDavids and the Matthews. And there's just a small percentage where they didn't have much of an NHL career. But having said that, I really think Slafkovsky could. This is just my take. He could maybe benefit from this tournament.
And let's be honest. You just want to see him dominate the juniors. Is that it? You just want to watch him dominate?
But why not, though? Absolutely, I would love to see him dominate.
I would too. I'm just looking at it as the guy's already outgrown it. Like it's. I kind of feel it's like sending him not exactly the same competition, but sending him to Laval for what reason, kind of thing.
I get that, but
you're sending him to a lower competition. So I don't know.
I get it. I just maybe it's just. It could be a one more player for Montreal Canadiens fans to brag about taking part of this tournament. There could be that. I'm trying to dig in at a subconscious level here. I'm no fucking psychologist, but I would just think it'd be cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. On the cool aspect, it would be, but on the development aspect, I don't think it will make him any better or worse. He already went through juniors, right? So,
no, he didn't play for the World Juniors. He never did.
Oh, didn't they? No, they stopped last year, right?
No, he might have could have, should have, maybe make the team, but it just.
Yeah, you're right. They stopped it. You're right, but he's already played in those type of tournaments. It's not.
I get it. I get that. It's just. And it's like I said, wherever he goes or doesn't go, like at the end of the day, like there's nothing I could do about it. So
for sure,
like I'm not gonna complain or anything. It's just I guess like I said, maybe seeing him having that opportunity to represent his country with not with just like pro men players, but like younger up and coming. And I get it, like. A lot of people in the organization probably feels that he's going to get, in a sense, not demoted, but like he's going to a caliber lower than what he is, and I get that, I really do. And I mean, look, if I don't know if you saw the videos of the development coach Adam Nicholas working with him, because look, the last 2-3 games, like he got clobbered.
Oh, he did.
He got clobbered. So
He
like
needs to keep his head up.
he needs to keep his head up, and they were working drills with him. So I think that's like the final, not the final piece of his development, and then like now he could really be a fully complete player. I mean, the kid's only 18 years old. Like he's still got tons to learn and tons of hockey to play and figure out. But like the one aspect that he really, really, really needs to get together is keeping his head up in a fast-paced hockey
For
game.
sure, but through his development, I always thought he's probably one of the bigger kids, so
Yeah,
he
he
didn't
is.
really need to do that in the lower level. But now he's playing
No, no,
down
I know,
here.
I know, I know, I know. But I'm talking about him now. Like it just talking
Exactly.
about.
I don't think it was something he's used to because I think a smaller player, Sam, needed to keep his head up. You always need to, but I'm saying was more, how do I say it? Was trained more on keeping your head up for smaller players because it's normal. You can get hit even the juniors for guys who are bigger than you. But this guy was
Mhm.
always overpowering anyone he's played, in my
Yeah, I get
opinion.
that. Yeah,
So I think it's just something he's going to have to learn. He probably didn't have to use it as much in the juniors, but again, he's a progressive player. His trend word has always been up. He'll definitely get there.
yeah. I get fine. Fucking whatever.
But hey, look, there's
I'm not gonna
and
admit. I don't want to admit you're right. Like no, I don't. Even though you are.
no,
Because I'm
I
asking.
look, it would be cool to see, but I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. But I think for his development, I don't think it makes a difference, which is why keeping him in Montreal is probably just
Yeah.
best to keep him where he is.
Well, look, he said himself he never got a word or an invite from the Slovakian hockey organization. So if he didn't get anything now, I don't think he will.
Exactly.
And if the news of the Canadians loaning him to Slovakia didn't break out, like I know it's not going to happen. So look, all that to say is that I always get excited for watching this tournament,
You
and
love it.
I really hope every single prospect from the Montreal Canadiens makes their home country team. And look, we're obviously rooting for Canada. We are Canadians after all. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. The tournament kicks off on Boxing Day as always, and may the best country win.
And hopefully it's us.
And hopefully it's us. So look, Joe, before we wrap this up, uh, there's continuous talk about trades within the Montreal Canadiens organization. Obviously, the big hot topic is Sean Monahan. I think his name keeps popping up in terms of trade rumors. His name suddenly keeps popping up that no, he might not get traded, but he might be given an extension. But now the guy's injured. Do you think that hurts his value?
I mean, I don't think so. It's not anything major in terms of injury. I don't think
Mhm.
that's gonna hurt his chances. I do hope in the end we do deal him, but like I like the high risk, high reward is where he gets traded and you try to sign him in the off season
But I
rather
don't think
than
that's
just
gonna happen, dude. I don't think that's that,
see.
that's that's a pipe
You
dream.
know what? I'll ask you this, but why? If he loves the city so much, like,
Hmm.
and he will want to resign here, why wouldn't he say, okay, I don't know the pro side of it, but go to another team. You're going for like 3-4 months,
Hmm.
and then you help us get assets, and then you come back in the summer. I didn't think it'd be as big of a deal as like what people saying. No, I don't think so. If he gets traded, he's gone. He's either signs an extension or if you trade him, he's gone. But you have an opportunity to get an asset and resign him. If you really like the team, wouldn't you want to do that?
But is he part of the plan though?
I mean, if you tell him before you trade him,
I'm pretty sure they told him, "Look, you're here, you're with us, play your game, and look, if you show that you could still play this game despite having fucking cyborg legs and hips and ankles and shoulders, he's either RoboCop or Darth Vader. Take your pick, whoever. Like I I I still think their plan was to trade him from the beginning.
right. But if their plan, Sam, and let me ask you, if their plan is to sign him, wouldn't you say we'll sign you in the off season? Can I get an asset now? Like, or is it too much in terms of the human side of it where the guy won't accept that? You
I'm,
know what I
I'm
mean?
Joe. I do know what you mean, and I never once said that re-signing him is a bad thing. I don't think so. I just don't think that he's part of that plan. I
It
don't.
could be.
I mean,
It's
look,
very possible.
that is okay. Okay, look. I'll play devil's advocate on myself here, but like if the rumors are that they're probably thinking about extending him, then maybe there's a sense of wanting to keep him. Sorry, it's going to depend on him too, though. Does he want to stay?
No, exactly. That depends on the human. I just from in Monahan's case, I don't see as much as like trying to trade him, and if you want him back, talk a deal to get him back in the summer. I
Yeah,
keep
maybe.
hearing it's some people say they want to sign him, and then someone's like, no, trade him. But if you trade him, you can't sign him back.
Okay, but if you do sign him, what do you? How long are you going to sign him for?
It wouldn't be something extravagant. It'd be like a 2 to 3 year deal, I would say, but
Okay,
like obviously at a
don't.
much lower salary.
Well, there's no way you're giving him 5 million or above.
No, it'd have to be in the two
You're
to three and a half range, I
okay. The
would
two,
say.
but okay. I don't. I mean, but that's the thing though. Like there's his health that's in question. But after that, it's like okay. Let's say you sign him for the 2-3. You still have Dvorak that's has another 2 years left on his contract. You're
Yeah,
willing. You're
but
willing. You're willing to go with those two sentiment as your number
well,
two and
maybe
your number three.
maybe Dvorak might get traded. Like I mean, Monahan has shown a little more than Dvorak. Maybe
Yes.
if they find a deal for Dvorak, they'll keep Monahan instead. I mean, I would.
Yeah. So would everybody else. But which GM is going to want to take that?
Hey, I mean, we took him to begin with.
Who was our GM? Who was your favorite?
I know, but still, you can always find somebody out there. We took him to begin with.
Look, and again, I'm going to say this: I like Sean Monahan, what he's done. Yes, he is great for the kids. Yes, he is a good. He's probably a very good mentor and leader in the room. It's just I don't think he ever was part of the plan.
No,
I
probably
think
not.
Calgary approached Montreal, be like, look, take this guy. We'll give you a first round pick. And knowing Kent Hughes is still in a rebuild mode, it was like, okay, we'll take him. I mean, they probably took him knowing that Carey Price was going on the LTIR. So like, yeah,
Yeah,
we could afford to take him. Paul Byron's
and
on the LTIR. We could afford to take him.
they took the first round pick. The
And they got
enticement.
and they got the first round pick, despite the despite the condition that it comes with, that you need to know how to split an atom to understand how this fucking condition works. But all that to say is that I don't think Sean Monahan is part of Kent
No,
Hughes'
no,
plan
I
long
don't think
term for this
so.
team.
I don't think so either. Even some of the guys that are playing right now, more of the veterans aren't like it's gonna be like this, and they're gonna keep cleaning house, like
They
you
will.
said. And on deadline day, we could be in a playoff contention. He's still gonna be a seller.
Dude, he Kent Hughes is not going to be a buyer, even if the Canadians are fighting for a playoff spot. I've
That's
said
right.
this
That's
many
a
times.
smart way to
I
do it.
I haven't discussed this with you, but they're just not. Kent
No,
Hughes is
they're
not.
not.
He's not going to be buying. The latest rumor I heard was Joel Edmondson to Edmonton for Xavier Bourgault.
Yeah, I heard that too. I think Edmonton will be traded. I don't know if it'll be Edmonton, but I think eventually it seems like the right time to get. I'm not saying to get rid of him, but to trade him for maybe some assets.
I think they should. Well, I like Joel Edmondson. I don't want him to leave
No, I do
because
too, but the
because
emergence of some of the younger prospects, and you have Matheson as you can't get rid of obviously Savard, and they're not going to, and you have Matheson as another veteran. I think it's time. Like you have enough rookies that are going to become experienced NHL defensemen. I think it might be the right time to move from one of your veterans. They're obviously not going to move Matheson right away. They just got him
no
for
no no
Petrie,
no.
and Hughes loves Matheson. I mean, he said it multiple times. That's who he
Yep
wanted. So
yep.
it would have been between Savard and Edmondson, and it just seems makes more sense, like contract wise too. It just makes more sense to move
Well, look,
Edmondson.
he Xavier Bourgault is another. He's another sentiment. At six, he's what? He's
Yeah, I
six,
think.
he's 6 foot, 20 years old. Uh, he's playing for. I think he's in the minors right now. He's got 11 points in 21 games, which is not so bad, for a rookie. Well, for a rookie for a first round pick.
No, exactly.
I I think I do that deal. But if they make, and here's another thing, if they make that deal and they get Bourgault as a centerman, I don't think he's gonna make the Canadiens line up right away.
No, he
But
is a
this is
first rounder. It's kind of like the Lehkonen and Barron deal.
yeah.
So,
But
I mean,
this
I
is
prefer having your own picks to choose players or then package them up and get something else. But I mean, if you can, it's really the next,
so
it's the next best option.
so my cousin is convinced that if the Canadiens acquire another first round pick, let's say they get a first round pick for Monahan. But then let's say they get a first round pick for Edmondson, which I think they can. If they could get one for Sherratt like they did last year, you could get one for
Very, very borderline with Edmondson, given his recent injury history. Very borderline.
yeah.
Very, very, very
I
tough.
understand that injury history, but I mean, look, you're still getting a Stanley Cup champion. You're getting a veteran. You're getting a
I
leader.
know, but when
You're
you're
getting a
injured that
A
much,
Stanley
I
Cup
know.
finalist. Like it's, dude. I'm telling you, like if teams like, my God, who can I think of on defense? Well, look, the Oilers could definitely use
Toronto.
fuck Toronto, fuck them. But I mean, I wouldn't mind. No, I don't want. No. Uh,
Sam,
why would you do that to Edmondson for? Why would you want him to wear that shit?
this is a business, Sam.
I don't care. I know it's a business. No.
Sam, you're telling me if the only first round pick you can get is from Toronto
Okay,
to
hold
give
on.
Edmonton, you
Okay,
don't give it. You don't give him.
Okay, fine. Hold on. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll personal feelings aside, you fuck. Hold on
Yeah.
a sec.
Well, you fuck. What do you fucking? It's a business. I don't care if it's
Well,
Toronto.
now we're
Boston.
dropping the gloves. It took us this much time to finally
I was
fucking
trying
drop
to
the
keep
gloves.
calm, and my
And
blood pressure's starting to go again.
you ruined it by mentioning Edmonton to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay,
Well,
they
I
have
want a first round pick.
okay,
I'll get it wherever it comes from.
Okay, look, Toronto does not have their second round pick in 2022, but they still have their first round pick.
So
okay, fine. Okay,
I don't think it's going to happen regardless.
I'm thinking bigger picture here. Fine, get Toronto if we can fleece them for sure. Hey, look, Vegas, Pietrangelo, I saw
Pietrangelo, yeah.
he's injured and he's gone for a while now. So
Yeah, there's going to be teams needing it's hard to kind of pinpoint where in December teams still evaluate all the way until trade deadline, which is end of February or early March. It's always one of the two.
It's always one of the two. Yeah. I really can't tell you that. I think Montreal is going to approach Dallas for something. I think Kent is going to try to sell somebody to the Dallas Stars because the Dallas Stars this year, man, they're one of the teams that could be the real deal. I know we talk about New Jersey, which is insane how amazing they're playing. Boston, those other fucks, like I think
they're playing well, man. They shot.
Bergeron found the fucking waters from the fountain of youth. You talked about Mike's secret stuff from
Space Jam.
From Space Jam. I truly believe Patrice Bergeron found the fountain of youth, took a couple of fucking water bottles, brought them back to the boys after they fired their coach, and he just shared it to everybody.
Sam, one of my this is, and it sucks. It's Boston proving me wrong, but one of my worst takes this year and predictions was I thought Tampa Bay, Florida, and Toronto would have the top 3 spots locked for the Atlantic, and I thought Ottawa and Boston were going to battle for the wild card.
No, I did not. I told you guys.
Yeah,
I did not believe the Ottawa hype.
But I didn't believe Boston would be this good. So, and they are.
I get that, but also Ottawa's a bit plagued with injuries too. But fuck them too.
I don't hate him as much.
Look, do you think Josh Anderson is gone?
I don't think this year. I don't think I don't think Hughes trades as many guys. Like, I mean, we're already talking about Edmondson. We're talking about possibly Monahan. He might trade another veteran. I don't think he makes as many trades as not that we think like, but I don't think he makes trades all his veterans in one go.
No.
I don't think that happens.
I get
I think Anderson stays at least until the offseason.
So I wanted to say, like, I was in our last episode discussing this with my cousin. Like, he's convinced that if he acquires another first round pick or 2, he could probably package those to jump up.
That's his goal. But if it's a draft, I don't know who would want to do that, but like, yeah, it's really, really, really a high possibility. Like you
So
can't
yeah,
expect all those picks to come through and
no,
develop. So
no, no. But I really am expecting Hughes to kind of move pieces around like he did last season's trade deadline. Like he really went to work. And look, he said it in that TVA Sport interview. He's looking for another first round pick.
yeah, and
And
I
I
hope
and
he
I
gets, and I really hope we make top five. Like I'm telling you, top five is
dude,
what I
but
want.
it's crazy because we're not far from like bottom five. Like we're only a
No, they're
difference
all
of like
separate.
5-6 points still.
Yeah, we're not far from a playoff, and
So
we're not far from. That's what being 500 is. You're like right in the middle of the pack, not too far from playoffs, not
yeah,
too far from the bottom. Besides maybe Arizona and Anaheim.
man. It's funny. I had like a few conversations with a couple of fans there that they message us on Instagram, and one of them she said she goes like I'm happy. I want the tank, but I'm happy when they win because they play so well. Like obviously when they win, they play super well, and it's so true. Like we're probably going to be mentioning this until we get an idea more or less where they're going to finish in the standings. But like it's for me again, just as long as the kids, the future stars of this team, keep performing, that's all I want. Okay, so look, we're gonna wrap this up, but real quick, just want to talk a bit about other players around the league, like Tage Thompson. Man, holy fuck!
I mean, I watch Buffalo just to watch him every now and then, and
I'm so happy I saw
he
him
scored
live.
4 goals in the first period. I was like, what the hell?
He scored 5 goals.
In
He
total,
scored
yeah,
five
four in the
five
first.
goals. Okay, look, if Uri Slavkovsky could become Tage Thompson,
Yeah,
or
but that's where patience is
oh,
needed,
I
right?
agree.
Tage Thompson took a while, and I mean, he was part of a trade, right? So don't give up on guys too early. He was
Mm-hmm.
part of the trade that bought Ryan O'Reilly from.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was part of the O'Reilly trade.
Or was he not part of the Myers trade?
No, I'm pretty sure
Oh,
it was O'Reilly.
okay, stand by. Keep talking, Joe. But I'm gonna research this because
Oh,
uh,
it's just to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's part of the O'Reilly deal, and
okay,
man, like the guy just found it in Buffalo. Yeah, it was Ryan O'Reilly for Vladimir Sabatka, Patrick Berglund, Tage Thompson, a first and a second.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So
You're
hey,
right.
same with Suzuki, man. Like,
Again, you
don't
fucking
give up
gross.
on guys too early. This Well,
Same
that's
with
the same with Vegas. I mean, Vegas could imagine
yeah.
him and look. I like William Karlsson. Obviously, I do like Jack Eichel's game, but imagine having Suzuki now over there
Mm-hmm.
in Vegas. You know what I mean? So
Fuck.
that's why you. I know, sure.
With Jack
Look,
Eichel, Jack Eichel too, man. Like good for him. He's
yeah, as I
he's from
said, he
Wisconsin.
would. But anyway,
Yeah.
topic for another day. Like everyone thought he came back. They all thought he was going to be 100% come back for Vegas. No, it's going to take time. The guy didn't play
Hmm.
hockey for forever. Like,
Yeah.
and he had a, he had a, I don't know how major it was, but he had a pretty serious neck injury that he had to get
Yeah,
specific
he
surgery
got
for.
a
It's
nice
going to take
fuse.
time.
He's got a nice fused neck.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
so yeah, dude, Nick Suzuki. I mean, no doubt he was gonna win the Molson Cup of for the month of November.
oh, for
He's got
sure.
13 points in 12 games. Like the debate is over. Nick Suzuki is our number one guy. It's over. Like this guy, he's it. Like he's the real deal. Like he might be that number one centerman we've been looking for this entire time. Joe, you and I are the biggest Saku Koivu fans probably on this planet.
Since
But
him.
yeah, and even at that, Koivu, love the guy
And
to death. Oh, as well. He was never
he's a
actually
1B.
actually
Yes,
actually
I'm his biggest
yeah,
fan, and I
yeah,
say he's a 1B.
yeah, he is a
So,
1B. But I'm convinced if Koivu didn't have injury problems, who knows, bro?
yeah, he was leading
He
as a
was
rookie. I don't know if it was as a rookie. No, it wasn't as a rookie. He was leading before a
actually
major injury. He
at
was
one
leading
point,
the
yes,
league,
yes, he
the league
was. Yes, he
in
was.
points. Yeah,
I remember that. I
but
remember
also
that.
I'm look. I've grown up in the Habs. Like the Habs have always been a type of team where they're gonna grind you out defensively, goaltending type. They're not like this offensive dynamo. So
No.
I don't know if Koivu would have still ever flourished as like a top point getter, but that's where I think Montreal's culture needed to change. They need to be more of that top offensive
It,
type team. And
it's coming. That
yeah, now I mean our
if
last 80
yeah,
point our last 80 point
it's
score
Kovalev.
was Kovalev, right? And you
84 points in 82 games in 2008.
2000 7,
8.
8.
Yeah,
So
2007, the 2007
7,
2008
2008.
season.
That's
Yeah,
14
that's right.
years, right? So I want to see a 40-goal scorer and an 80-point player to
We
start.
might, but we're gonna get. We're gonna get that. Like
Yeah.
Suzuki says, no.
Thank you. Finally.
Suzuki said Caulfield's scoring 50 this year.
I'm not. I'm always been tired of like we're treating our 30-goal scorers like they're a 50-goal scorer, but they're not. They're
Yeah.
30. There's still a difference.
Well, okay. Look, Caulfield's definitely getting 30. I wouldn't be
I think he is
surprised.
40, man. I
I
think
wouldn't
he
be
is
surprised if
40.
he gets 40, but I think Suzuki could get 30. And
No, I was wrong. I thought he would get. I thought he was going to get the upwards of 70 points, but I thought it was going to be more an assist. But he's showing a bit more goal scoring ability this year.
it's
I think
insane.
he's going to hit 80 points.
100% is going to hit 80 points.
So him and Caulfield,
I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 90.
ooh,
Dude, no,
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say
Joey.
no.
Okay,
Not
that's
for this
fine.
year.
That's fine. But Joe, look, like I think this year's the most goals we've seen amongst teams than ever. Like,
Oh, for sure.
it's insane the amount of
Well,
goals that are being scored this
especially
year.
last few years, given our Ducharme, Terrier, and Julien coach. Yeah,
No, but
definitely.
I mean in general, like just in general in the league. Like
Yeah, for sure.
the era of dominant goalies is dying. Like the only
No, it
ones,
is.
it's crazy. Like look, I love Shesterkin. He's not having the greatest season.
Which
Hellebuck
is
might
which is shocking me.
absolutely. Hellebuck might have an MVP season. He might have a hard season, seeing how far he takes Winnipeg. But look, Vasilevsky, he's probably the best goalie in the world right now, all around. But he's not having the greatest season either.
No, but the only two dominant goalies still is Shesterkin, in my opinion, like potential and playing wise, and Vasilevsky. The rest
Yeah.
is
Well, but
it's
okay. I'm adding.
we're waiting for the next cycle.
I'm adding Jake Ottinger to that list.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm adding Jake Ottinger to that list.
And Sam, you before we go, you mentioned about the Montreal scoring so many goals. I guess our last season was so bad. Like this is such an improvement. We're still 19th in goals scored.
Yeah, I know. And we're the ones here complaining that they have no secondary scoring. It's so
and we're also saying that
it's
they
true.
score so much more compared to last year. That just shows how bad we've been.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Vancouver,
also,
we say is a bad team. They're like top 5 or top 7 in scoring, and I'm checking it now to be safe.
Yeah, but everything's come from Bo Horvat. So, but anyways, no, all kidding, dude. All kidding aside, but look again. We talk about the two guys that are carrying this team. It is Suzuki and it is Caulfield. Like the Kirby Doc, like he's playing well with them, but the one that's catching up after them is Anderson at 7. You have Caulfield and Suzuki at 14, 15 apiece, and then the next closest one after that is Anderson at 7.
Yeah, my
do have
only worry going forward is once they trade some of these veterans too, and also teams tend to adjust. They're going to adjust on Caulfield and Suzuki. I'm glad that they're doing it because they already know how good they are and they cannot stop them. So it's a good sign. But I still think teams will adjust to them. So that's why it's going to be important to complete
Caulfield,
around them.
like Caulfield, I think established his office, like in the in the Ovechkin office, which by the way, he's only 100 goals away from tying Gretzky, I think, or less.
I hope he makes
or he's 99.
And then when he retires, it's Caulfield's office. He's the next one.
Okay. Oh my God! Did you really pull off that bold prediction out of your ass?
Ovechkin's going to take the keys when he retires, and he gives them to Caulfield.
To you, from failing hands, we throw the torch. Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Ovechkin's going to take the goal scoring torch and pass that on to Caulfield.
That's right.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm promoting this part of the episode everywhere.
My only knock on Caulfield is like Ovechkin, I think, can score by himself. I think Caulfield needs
Suzuki
or that type of player.
Gotcha.
That's the only thing that can hinder him. He scores great goals off rush too without him, but more of his game comes from having a good playmaker.
I get it.
I mean, you could say that about all goal scorers, Sam. You can, but I'm not going to compare him to
Ovechkin.
Yeah, but Ovechkin could do it without a playmaker.
But that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Ovechkin's just a fucking specimen. You see that thing skating down, you're fucking scared.
Hey, Michkov, man. That Russian blood of Ovechkin's got to go somewhere.
Okay. All right, buddy. I think we touched everything we had to, points wise, discussion wise. Not touch. Figure. Okay, I just dug myself a hole.
I should ask you, Sam, before we go. Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling fine. Why?
We didn't argue that much tonight. I don't know.
But it's okay. You want to know why? Because we didn't have the others to fucking poke
That's true.
each
That's
other's
true.
bear to fuck.
This is our everyone. This is our
There's-
real relationship. It's always everyone
there's-
else that provokes us because
there's
they like the humor. Of
you
being
you
fan
you
battle.
went a whole episode without talking about Brendan Gallagher. I'm
I
proud
told
of
you I would stop about 3 episodes ago, and I have.
You
Like, we
got a
spoke
bunch-
enough about him.
Yeah, because I was told because a bunch of people are like, yo, Joey, please stop it.
Well, I mean, you brought him up. We're doing better without him. So that's how.
You piece of shit. Okay. On that note, thank you all for tuning in to this episode of the Curve Boys. Don't forget, the Montreal Canadiens face off the LA Kings Saturday night at the Bell Center. Look, Joe, Philip Danault is back. Where you get an applause or a
back.
couple of boos. Yeah, but okay, yeah, Bergevin. You think he's going to show up with the team and,
I mean, he
and
should.
watch Les Gradins? I don't. Whatever. Whether he does or doesn't, I don't really care at this point anymore. But look, go Habs, go! Thanks again, folks, for tuning in. If you enjoy what you hear, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And yeah, until next episode, Joe. Thanks. Before we say goodbye, Joe, thanks for doing this with me. It was
always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. You know, we didn't really drop the gloves, but you know, little jabs here and there, little friendly jabs here and there. But
we'll drop them off card.
Oh fuck, are we going that route? Okay, we'll do that
when we see each other next.
Sounds good, buddy. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks again. Have a good evening. Until next time.
Bye now.
Bye now. Good night.